Hi, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Nicole.
Welcome to our Late Over, where we eat yummy snacks,
Share binge-worthy entertainment,
play games, and gossip.
but you have to go home early because we're not allowed to have sleepovers.
So let's get going before your mom gets here to pick you up. Hello and welcome back to Late Over. I'm Shannon and this is my little sister Nicole.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another week of Late Over. We're so happy to have you back.
So happy. How you been doing? You look great. We unintentionally wore the same shirt, different colors.
It's from Old Navy. It's just from Old Navy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I was slightly inspired because we did Marco Polo briefly earlier, and I think I just remembered. I was like, oh, well, it's pretty nice out. We're getting into the spring, so let's wear some tank tops. Let's show those shoulders.
Show the shoulders. A little porn shoulder today. Loving that.
Exactly. I have to apologize ahead of time, but everybody can also just deal with it. I just got Invisalign today, and Woo-hoo! I do not know how to talk with it yet. So I am in a bit of pain. I did not understand that they put like almost brackets on your teeth that will help the Invisalign thingy actually push the teeth. And so when I'm not wearing the Invisalign, I have these kind of really creepy teeth looking pokey things all over my teeth. And so I talk a little bit less funny, but the pokey things actually really hurt my gums to talk. And so I can't talk either way. So we're just choosing the one don't have like creepy little sticky things on my teeth showing. So thanks, everyone, for your patience.
I have a question about this because really I've been thinking about this because I knew that it was coming up, but you haven't told me that much info about it. So did you just go to like the orthodontist?
So the company that I'm doing it through, it is Invisalign, but there's a company called Evenly, and they are basically kind of contracted with my dentist office. And so when I went to my dentist office, I saw a pamphlet and I just asked like, okay, when I'm really interested in Invisalign, when are you guys offering consultations? And they basically have an Evenly representative come once a month and, actually twice a month, once a month to do consultations and then another time to actually fit the Invisalign. And so they didn't have an appointment available until like much later, but then I was on a wait list, and so they got me in, and then I just had to wait like 4 or 5 weeks for my Invisalign to come in. Then that's when I went in today, and they give a rundown on how to do everything. Everything is virtual, so they gave me this really crazy looking teeth device that I like stick in my mouth, and I have to like move around so they can check up on my progress every single week. And the only reason that I'd need to go in is if one of my brackets fall off, which is fairly common. Like it'll probably happen at least one time. They can go and put more brackets in. Or if I'm having some type of other weird issue, like if I lose one of my aligners or something like that, which I'm not going to lose an aligner. I'm super responsible.
Okay,
so
good.
So yeah, then I just basically go in at the very end. I go into the dentist's office. They'll come back and they'll take off the bracket type looking things and fit me for my retainer, and then I should be good to go. So.
Okay, and you said like it's 5 months. Is that how long?
Mine is 5 months. It can. Okay. They say when I did my consultation, they're like, oh, it'll take about a year, but it's depending on the person. But my teeth are not that seriously misaligned. I've had braces before. They've just moved quite a bit. And so they said it shouldn't take too long. But then when I officially have my like fitting and everything today, that's when they came in and was like, yep, you just have 5 months worth of aligners. That's all it should take. And it's going to be not only cosmetic, but it's also going to be beneficial for actually my bite that is not exactly right. That can cause like, what is it, like lockjaw or things like that.
TMJ.
Yeah, TMJ. The spacing in my teeth, because I never had a full set of braces, the spacing in my teeth make me really susceptible to TMJ. So they're fixing that.
Interesting. Okay, so then you just paid like a flat fee? Is that how you're doing it? Okay.
Yeah, which I was honestly a little bit, I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be a flat fee. I was kind of hoping it was going to be teeth dependent, because I'm like, oh, I only need 5 months of braces, or it's not that complicated of a case, so hopefully it won't be too much, but it's not. It's just a flat fee. And then included in the fee is like at the end, if I still need more aligners, if they want to keep doing work on me or something like that, that's all included. The only reason that I get additional fees is if I don't do my weekly check-ins, which I thought is kind of interesting. So if I miss my weekly check-ins, then they'll start charging me because they're like, okay, well, if you're not doing your check-ins and you're not wearing your aligners, we're not going to guarantee you that we're going to keep working on you because you're not wearing your aligners. So,
right. Okay.
There's a little bit of Invisalign trivia for everybody.
Love that. Well, I am in the ortho world, but for a child. Okay. I'm old enough to have a kid. We had an ortho consult for my oldest a couple years ago when we were at our family reunion in Branson, Missouri. He was going down a water slide and he turned his face and broke both of his 2 front teeth. And
2 adult teeth.
Yes, adult teeth.
Just said that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So we really have a very kind friend who is a dentist who did a lot of work. One of them ended up needing a cap completely, and then the other one is still just the artificial kind of tooth material, whatever. But the one that is a cap, it was perfect when it was put in, but he's 10 and I know all day long he's just pushing his tongue against that tooth and it has just turned. So, and we knew he would need braces anyway. So we had a consult this week and oh my gosh, it's just, the guy who came in, he's like, we could start today. They want to do the top row and just like get started. And then he does need some in the bottom, but they're like, I could take him back right now. Let's get him going. And I'm like, oh, whoa, I cannot commit to multi-$1,000 orthodontia right this moment. Okay.
Yeah.
So calm down. But
yeah, it needs a little bit of prep too because braces aren't easy. I mean, Invisalign isn't easy either. I think it's a little bit easier. I don't know. I mean, I guess I've had both. I'll let you know right now. My teeth are definitely in pain, but I remember the same thing with braces. Like it just kind of hurts. So you have to take care of it. You have to clean it. There's just kind of a lot of little details in it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we haven't even discussed it. We have been going crazy. We leave tomorrow for a trip. We're going to Orlando. Jared's big jiu-jitsu competition is this week. So he's been prepping for so long and we're going to have a great time. We're taking the kids to Legoland for a day and we got a cool house down there. But, so I just like passed him yesterday and I'm like, oh, by the way, it's multi-thousands of dollars. And it's like, oh, okay. But I think what we will probably decide to do is wait. He still has baby teeth on the bottom. He needs to lose. So they were like, let's start the top right now. And then in 8 months, we'll add the bottom on. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just wait. Until they are all out and we can do it all the same time. And then we can also kind of, save up a little bit for this. And anyway, well, I'm excited for your new beautification venture. So excited. I mean, 5 months is nothing. So, really done quick.
By summer. Yeah. And so, it was kind of a scramble. So we did go on a little trip this weekend. We had to cut it a little bit short because of the horrible weather that went through. This was the weekend of March 18th or something like that, when all of those storms came through. And so we had to delay it a little bit, but we went down to Chattanooga and we absolutely loved it.
Okay.
We had a great time.
What was your favorite thing? What'd you do?
Well, one really cool thing is that with one of the credit cards that we got, we get automatically upgraded to some type of diamond status or whatever. So we got upgraded to a suite. Cool. Which was super fun. Yeah. And then we basically just had one day there, but we did go into Ruby Falls, which is down into a cave. You kind of walk in. It's, I think, 2/5 of a mile in, 2/5 of a mile out. And there's this giant, I don't even know how tall, waterfall. You're down in underground about like 1,000+ feet. And then there's just this huge waterfall and it's really, really pretty. So
cool.
That was very cool. That was a fun experience. So we ate a lot of really good food.
Cool.
And we had I think we were gone for like 40 hours.
Oh, not long enough.
Not long enough. But to be honest, we were not sleeping super well. The temperature in the hotel was really weird. And so we were both I was like a rotisserie chicken, like both nights. I was just flopping back and forth, trying to get comfortable, could not sleep. And we were like, this was super fun. But honestly, one more day, we both would have been just like staring at each other wide-eyed, like so exhausted.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of great food. I had I can't stop thinking about it, cold brew this morning. And I want more cold brew this instant. I've had cold brew a couple of times, but this was so good. And then the other really cool thing that we had at this fancy restaurant was we had these like homemade Cheez-Its basically that were topped with trout and then this garlic crema or something like that. And it was so good. I cannot stop thinking about it. I'm like, how can I remake this? I want to make, because I can make sourdough crackers, cheddar crackers, and then maybe top it with trout and make my own crema. So anyway,
where does one acquire trout unless you don't catch it yourself? You know? I don't think I've ever seen
the
trout.
The Tennessee River? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right on the Tennessee River, so maybe they get it there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if you were to make it at home, I don't think I've ever seen trout for sale, but maybe I'm just not looking. I don't frequent the trout aisle.
You're not really a fish person. You're not too fishy.
Not
I'm
too
super fishy.
Something stinks.
We've gotten into fish over the last year.
Over the last year?
You like sushi fish.
I like sushi
this
fish.
Last year we started good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sushi fish that doesn't taste like fish. But
good, I'm so glad.
Yay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's really all my updates. You've just been running around prepping for this trip.
Yeah. Getting 6 people to anywhere is a lot. And I mean, we don't have babies anymore, so that's helpful. But just meal prep, and the kids are great now. I'll just say, bring me 2 pairs of pajamas, 3 shirts, 3 pants, and they bring me all the stuff. But it's just all of the tiny minutia of making sure you have everything. And I probably make it harder than it should be, but I really want to do as much prep work as I can before we go on trips, so that when we're there, it's like, everything is taken care of. I don't have to make decisions. So,
yeah, totally.
And it's been a couple months since we've done a trip, since Colorado. So, and that was flying. So that was different. But we have a lot of driving trips coming up. This one is long. This is an 8-hour drive to Orlando, but usually we stick around here. It's like 4-hour drives wherever we go. But we have one every month for the next several months planned. So we're just in the swing of it. So I'm going to get some big plastic totes to make it a little bit easier, just so I can keep a second set of stuff that we can just throw in the car and be ready. Yeah. And, efficiency. So
exactly.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm excited. Our place has a pool, so the kids are jazzed. So it should be fun.
Hey, I'm getting hungry. Can you go ask your mom for a snack?
Yeah. Do you want salty or sweet?
Both.
Okay, welcome back to Snack Time, where we get to share a little bit of what's making us salty, what's making us sweet. So, Nicole, which one would you like to serve first?
I would like to serve sweet.
Oh,
today.
Great. So sweet.
It's ready to go.
Okay.
So, I talked about how we went into this cave. It was a long tour. It was probably 2 hours. And it's a lot of walking, right? And so we're walking, and there is a lot of families there with kids. And basically, probably about 30 minutes into this tour, 80% of the kids start kind of like losing their mind. They're crying, their feet hurt, this is far, this is scary, whatever the reason is that they're just like upset. And the parents are just kind of like dealing with them best that they can, whatever. My sweet is when it's not your kid.
Hallelujah.
I'm like, this is like having a little kid whine and cry during the whole thing. It's like 10% annoying to me. Like it's like, yeah, it'd be nice if that wasn't happening. But 90%, I'm just like, dude, as long as it's not somebody I have to deal with emotionally, like I don't care. I really don't. And I'm so happy that it's not my child that's crying, or a child that I have to bribe to behave, or a child that I have to hold and make sure they're not slipping and falling and hitting their head or whatever else is happening in this cave. And basically just anywhere. I just am so sweet on when it's not my kid. And if it is your kid, it makes it better. And I'm like, it's so easy for me to ignore. I feel like maybe before kids, I might have been like, well, that really sucks, or like, oh, like they have to whatever. And now I'm like, this is so part of their lives. It's probably slightly annoying, but I'm just so glad that it's not me and that I don't have to deal with it. And I can just mind my own business. I don't have to try to convince this 6-year-old to keep walking. I can just mind my own business. And then I'm also trained after having kids to just not listen. I just don't hear it because I don't have to deal with it. I'm like, if I can just tune this out. I've heard whining before, whatever. So I'm so sweet on that. I'm so sweet on everybody else's kids when their kids are whining and complaining and I don't have to deal with it. So that's it.
Totally. That's a great one. We were, right before we went to our ortho consult, one of my other boys had cavities filled. So, and the ortho and the dentist are right next to each other. So we were in the dentist's office and I was sitting there with Colton while Jax was in the back. And this couple came in with their 18-month-old for his first dental appointment. And this tiny little guy was just running everywhere. He would not stop. He was just running all the way. He was touching everything, trying to touch the coffee thing, touching the water thing. He ran down this hallway he wasn't supposed to, and they were up. I mean, just in the 10 minutes we were in the waiting room together, I was like, I'm exhausted watching this. And it was so cute because, you know, like a couple who only has one baby, they're like both all in, you know, and it's like, okay, it's your turn. And I'm like, oh, that's adorable. And I'm sitting there. Colton is playing a game on his phone. I'm doing some grocery order on mine. And it was just such a full circle thing to sit there next to him, my oldest, and be like, I am so freaking glad I'm not chasing a toddler around this freaking office. It's the same. And I said, I remember those. I haven't been out of those years for very long, but yeah, it's nice to not be there anymore. So, and it does. I gave him a little squeeze. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad you're not tiny anymore.
Yeah. You're great at every stage.
Yes.
I totally believe that. I mean, I'm not totally out of the baby stage, but having one kid, like I have a kid, he's not a toddler. And I'm like, I really do feel like I soaked up the baby and toddler stage with him. I soaked it all up, just like everybody told me to. I absolutely loved it. But him being past that, I also absolutely love it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, it gets better and better. They're so funny. Tonight, this is totally aside, but Colton was honored at the district because one of his test scores, he got a like state testing, he got a perfect score on. And so this is his second, he got this big plaque and the superintendent was there and all the principals and the whole school board and all this stuff. I'm so proud of him, but he's just getting so big. But while we were waiting, a different high school's whole wrestling team was there to be honored. I don't know why, but they all walked in and they were giant. All these boys were like over 6 feet tall and they all had ridiculous bleach blonde hair and just like dirtball wrestlers. And I just sat there thinking, oh my gosh, I am right on the cusp of having these men in my house. Right on the cusp. And I just like, they were all so giant. And of course they all walk in and they hit the doorway as they come in, and I'm in that stage with Colton and Jax and they're doing pull-ups and all this stuff, but I'm right there in the middle and just almost a teenager mom, and trying to soak it up because oh my gosh. But it is nice to look back and be like, oh yeah, glad we're not there anymore. Glad we don't have the screaming baby on the plane. That's nice.
Totally. Exactly. Yeah. All right, what's your sweep?
Well, I mentioned it, but the best thing ever is grocery delivery to the place you are vacationing to. Specifically Walmart. There's always a Walmart. And the way I can have all of my groceries planned out, I can plan all the meals, being at the Airbnb, all the snacks. I only have to bring down a bag of stuff that we need for the drive and some other, odds and ends as far as food goes. But then I have everything. I have it scheduled to be delivered basically right when we get there tomorrow, and that'll be dinner. And that is such a relief, man. And, before that it was pickup, which I did for a long time. But before that, you had to go grocery shopping or bring it all down because you didn't want to do it when you were there. Horrible, terrible, 0 out of 10. This is amazing. Thank you, Walmart. And I'm also, even though Walmart, sometimes the shopping gets a little dicey, I love the Walmart technology. How you can get on and it's like, oh, there's one cottage cheese left in stock. And you know what? They're usually pretty right. The way that they figured out how to connect their inventory to their app, like, I was just marveling about that while I was doing this, 3 states away. And like, yeah, this is what this store, this tiny little neighborhood market in Kissimmee, Florida, outside Orlando, has in stock. And they're going to bring it to me. Like, oh, technology is amazing. So that's my sweet. I love that.
It does make such a big difference. It's like, it's part of that prep so that when you're on vacation, you can actually have a vacation versus being like trying to decide things, trying to organize things, trying to run errands. Because then you're just like, okay, well, it takes a day and a half to start a vacation. You go on a short vacation and all of a sudden it's like basically over.
It's over. You have to go to some random grocery store that you don't know, like, okay, where's the cereal, It's
right.
So nice. So love that convenience.
Makes such a difference.
I would not enjoy the pilgrimhood of the 1800s. Give me that Walmart delivery stat.
Yeah, or even just like, 15 years ago? There's no pickup, no delivery, and you just have to go
Or maps
shopping.
on your phone. I mean, I guess you had GPS, but before
gosh.
then, oh my gosh. Yeah. It's
How
the dark
stressful.
ages. So stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily we're past that, and so we can actually have a good vacation where we're not worried we made a wrong turn, and when we get there, our groceries are there.
Yes, just waiting. It'll be perfect timing. But,
That's
all right,
awesome.
what is your salty?
Okay, my salty is a little bit specific, possibly to me.
Okay.
But it's not that big of a deal. But one of my favorite parts, if not the most favorite, my most favorite part of going on vacation is eating out and like eating really good food. Mm-hmm. And it seems either with my age, I don't know what is going on, but it's like the way I feel after eating out just sucks.
Really?
Like, I feel like so often after I eat out, I'm like, wow, that was delicious, but I need to roll out of here. Like, I don't know if it's because I eat too much or if it's just like the type of food it is. I've definitely found the common thread of fried food for sure. It just sits so heavy. But I felt like this whole trip we had such good food, but then after we were done, it was like, okay, well, I need to go walk around for 45 minutes and then lay down for a solid 4 hours to like work this food through my system. Yeah. And I really don't know what the common thread is. I will say that I did not eat totally gluten-free on this trip. I've said for a while since I've been gluten-free, like I'm gluten-free, but when I'm on vacation, I don't necessarily have to be. Maybe I'm just getting to the point where I really do have to be. Like I just need to be gluten-free. And because I just can't handle it at all, maybe that's it. But more than anything, it's just like, I want to figure it out because I love going out to eat. I just wish I knew the common thread of, why do I feel horrible for several hours after this?
That's like those commercials where those guys would go to the bar and they preemptively take like Pepsid AC or that like Zoloft or wait, is Zoloft the antidepressant?
Zoloft is anti-anxiety, yeah.
They're like, going to the bar is going to make me depressed. Pop in a Zoloft. No, the other one that is like a heartburn one that starts with a Z. Anyway, Zyrtec. That's what it's called.
Zyrtec is an allergy med.
Oh, wait. Oh, I am not a pharmacist.
There's like heartburn, indigestion, heartburn, gas, and diarrhea. What is that one?
That's Pepto-Bismol, I believe.
Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah,
or
but
then the other
you
one
don't
is
like
Tums.
But there's one that you take that's like a prescription, and you take it every day. And actually, omeprazole.
Omeprazole.
There's a Z in it.
Yeah,
that's
omeprazole.
why I was thinking it. Zol. Okay, see, Zoloft, Zol. That's the train. Okay, see, we got there eventually. Anyway, that's kind of what it seems like. Maybe you need to do. You need to coat that tummy, prime it, prep it, season it.
I don't know. It's so weird though because it's not even like it's painful. It's just I feel like death afterwards.
Yeah.
Just like slows my whole system down. Like everything starts moving in slow motion. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but anyway, I'm a little salty. Maybe the food's too salty. I don't know. There's lots of reasons, but I would like to not have that happen anymore, and I will start by just kind of fully committing to the bit of being gluten free.
Okay. The bit's just going on and on. We are together next weekend. So like 10 days from now, 11 days from now.
Yeah.
So if you need to be gluten free, I'll be your support girly for the 40 hours we get to be together.
Yeah, I told Chip, I was like, before I leave, look me straight in the eye and tell me, remember how you felt after every restaurant in Chattanooga. Yeah. Don't do it. Which actually, it wasn't after every restaurant, because we went out to breakfast this morning and I felt totally fine. And I got a salmon cream cheese, not quiche, the other one. That's not a quiche. What is it called when it's not a quiche, but it's an egg thingy?
Oh, like a souffle.
No, I don't know. It was basically
like a tart. A tart?
No. Oh. Still not that.
We are not on it today.
We're a little tired. All right. We're just a little bit not totally here right now.
A little bit.
Anyway, but first of all, I had that amazing cold brew, and then I had that salmon egg situation and like roasted potatoes, and I felt totally fine. So it's just got to be the gluten. So yeah, basically, everybody just needs to baby me and also be mean to me and be like, do not order the gluten.
What doesn't have gluten is chips and salsa.
It's chips and salsa. I know. I can't wait.
So excited.
Anyway, we'll figure this out, and then I'll just, I'll feel fine. I'll feel fine. Yeah. I can't have gluten. And as much as I'm like, this is all in my head, I actually can have gluten. I made this up. I actually can't have gluten.
Yeah.
It's actually not a good idea for me.
Maybe you apply that in other places.
Yeah. Let's have denial in other areas of my life.
Yeah.
All right, enough about that. What's your salty?
Well, what's funny is it's almost kind of similar. My salty is the prepared meals space. Okay? And, we're talking about vacation, prepping for vacation. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why is it? I mean, I don't want frozen meals. I get why those are really salty and they have a lot of preservatives and they're shelf stable, whatever. But when we're talking about a deli, am I crazy? Or did there used to be more deli type options at stores? I remember going into stores and they're like potato wedges and macaroni and cheese and little pinwheel roll up things and like things you could choose from at the deli counter. Where did that go? Who
Publix.
Has that now? I was
Publix.
Actually, gonna say Publix. Well, we didn't shop at Publix though when we were young, and they had that at King Soopers and even Walmart. And now you can't even get like fried chicken. Okay, I don't even want fried chicken. That's just what I mean. Why is there no option? They have people behind the deli counter. They have meat back there. I don't know. All I'm asking for is just a little bit more of a selection than a pizza for a prepared meal. I don't want to eat out for every single meal. I don't want to cook for every single meal, but I just want something in between, like prepared for me at a store. I don't know. Is that asking too much?
Is this just at your Walmart? Like, I don't think I'm experiencing the same thing as you. Is this just your Walmart that you've looked?
No, at my Harris Teeter, there's not one either. I mean, they have like a fried chicken at my Harris Teeter. I guess you can get subs at that Harris Teeter too. And those aren't terrible. But still, I don't know. There needs to be some in between of like, it's not a restaurant, but it is a grab and go. It's more than ingredients, but less than a restaurant. I don't know. Yeah. I maybe I'm expecting too much, but it seems like
I think you're at the wrong stores. Because I went to Kroger literally today for this exact thing, and I was kind of overwhelmed by options at Kroger.
What did you get? Tell me.
I ended up getting pizza.
Oh, well.
but they had like a whole home chef section. They were all just single serve, which was a little bit rough. And then they had a lot of other sections that, I mean, I guess to be fair, I don't know if there was that many family-friendly options, but they did have like rotisserie and chicken tenders. And then I didn't even look behind the counter, but they had that whole situation where they've got, potato salad, potato wedges, like chicken tenders and stuff like that behind the counter. I just didn't really get into it because I didn't really want to talk to anybody because I had just gotten my Invisalign. So I was like, I'm not going to communicate with anybody. And they had a ton of sandwiches and stuff like that. I just went with pizza because I was just trying to get out of there. So,
okay. To be fair, I think my Harris Teeter does have more than I'm giving it credit for. They have a whole little sushi bar, and actually, it's not terrible if you get it on the right day.
Okay, have you ever had Sam's Club sushi?
I have twice.
It's horrible.
Thank you. Awful. Okay, someone said it was good, so I was not sharing my opinion. I'm like, yeah, I've eaten it. The rice was so sticky and in the worst way.
I don't know what they do it, but it's not sushi. Something's wrong with it.
It's not great. Yeah,
it's like a bad flavor, and every single time after I eat it. Okay, this doesn't sound credible coming from me, actually. But every time that I eat it, I don't feel good.
No, I've gotten it twice, and because I guess at Sam's Club they do have a handful of like a thing of enchiladas you can pop in.
Yeah,
at least
Sam's
there's
Club
that.
Has a great Sam's Club
like
has
deli
great options for those.
Yeah. And I get it. They have a little bit more resources maybe. But yeah, the sushi. And I get very sketched out about food poisoning. I know too much. So I'm very careful. I think that's part of my weirdness with fish, is that I know too much. So I'm very touchy about sushi. So yeah, we've gotten it there once, maybe twice. I think I ate one slice of a roll. I was like, well, that's enough for me. Goodbye.
It's not good.
Not
so
okay.
basically what I'm saying here is that your salty has no ground.
Okay. I'm just
no ground.
Somebody solved my problem. It's just, I want to find meals somewhere. You know what? I do think there's a Publix not too far from our place. Maybe I will pop into Publix. I do love Publix. We have Publix really close. Several of them. I just never shop there because walking into Publix costs $85. So
Publix is so expensive. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But their potato wedges, when we're talking about potato wedges, their potato wedges
do have
are
good
exceptional.
Yeah, this is true.
They have a lot of good stuff. And honestly, I really like a lot of Sam's Club prepared meals too. We always get those little chicken tacos, and the rotisserie chicken can be used a lot.
Ooh, the Euro kit is great. I'll just take that and throw it in the freezer, and it thaws out really great. The whole thing.
Yeah. We've gotten the mac and cheese from there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And we've even gotten the wings from there, actually. But I'm not picky about wings. We've covered this before. Any wing, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll eat it.
Well, maybe I'm just mad about Walmart. You know, I was happy about their delivery, but I guess you are backed into the Walmart corner there. So I am gonna have to go to
Walmart,
Publix.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really think Walmart has that much. They do have a lot of dips, though. I'll give them that. They have a lot of their little homemade dips, which are usually really good.
Smokehouse, it's like a brisket dip. It's burnt ends. That's what it's called. My. It's so good. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for talking me off my salt ledge.
Yeah, let's just chill out for a second and not go to Walmart for that. We love Walmart for certain.
Okay.
They're approved for that, but maybe not prepared meals.
She has boundaries we must respect.
Exactly. I have an idea. Let's play Truth or Dare.
Okay, but it cannot get as crazy as last time. My mom got so mad at me.
All right, welcome back to another segment of Truth or Dare, which this episode, tonight, with you all, I prepared a Truth or Dare for Shannon. And this first question I want Shannon to think about, and the question is, Truth or Dare?
Quick truth.
Okay. I want you to tell a story, and you do not have to give names of your first kiss, how it went down.
Okay.
We're talking just a peck, or whatever you remember. I don't know.
Okay. I was, I think, 15, and I was at a Mormon dance, and
scandalous.
It's very scandalous. And I don't remember a lot of the surrounding things, but there was a boy there. There were brothers, and there was a brother who was older than me by 3 years, maybe, and the other brother was younger than me by a year. And I was like, you know what? I like them both, okay?
Porque no los dos. Wait, no. Porque no los dos.
Yeah. This is going to turn into some sort of fanfic online. Den of steak dances. Anyway, the older brother must have been occupied with someone because I ended up with the younger brother, but he was still very cute. And we were dancing. We were leaving the dance, and I must have been getting picked up. I don't remember who initiated, but he kissed me, and it was like a full kiss. And it was exciting because it was a kiss, but it was different than I thought it would be.
This is different.
It was very wet.
Oh boy, there was tongue?
There was
or
tongue.
That was just oh, okay.
There was his tongue, and it was wet. Now, if I remember correctly, I think this same brother, who was a year younger than me, who was also, let's say, 3 to 4 years older than you, if I recall, when he was a senior and you were a freshman, you encountered this same boy, and he did not know that you were my sister. But I don't think you kissed him. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about conceptually. I don't really remember this person.
Okay. The funny thing is, I only remember the older brother's name. I don't.
Oh no, I do remember his name.
I do remember. Okay. I remember both of their first and last names.
Oh man,
the one I really wanted. Anyway, I remember you telling me, like, oh, I met this guy, and nothing ever happened. You never kissed him, I don't think, but you said his name, and I was like, Nicole, that was my first kiss. Like,
yeah,
what?
I remember this whole story, but he liked my friend.
Oh, okay.
He didn't like me.
Yeah.
And because I was kind of like dating another boy at this same youth conference where we all came together. And so I wasn't really interested, but either way, we had kind of met him, and he was so old and so cool, but he was definitely into my friend who was 100% not even a freshman in high school yet. So.
Yeah, that was too big of an age gap. Yeah.
That was a little much.
We're 5 years apart for our listeners. I'm 5 years older than Nicole. I was born in 1990, or I guess, yeah, it's about 5 years. 4 years and 10 months. 8 months, something like that. And Nicole's 95. So, I mean, that would have been too big of a difference there, even with
I think that would have meant, even if he was a year younger than you, I think that meant that he had still graduated high school by then, right? No, because I entered high school the year after you graduated. So he was going to be a senior. We were going to be freshmen.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Yeah, I mean...
But I feel like maybe because of you, or I don't know why, I always had I had a really strong radar for like junior and senior boys. Like I did not want anything to do with them. It's like, shut it down. Okay. Like I don't want any of you near me, like, because I just thought that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
They were
after
basically
my
middle schoolers.
After I kissed that boy who was a year younger than me. After that, I pretty much my longer term boyfriends were my age, but outside of that, I always wanted the older boys, and I ended up with an older boy, so that tracks.
So there you go.
And you ended up with one that was age appropriate, so
yeah, younger than me, but not by much.
Yeah, not by much. What about you?
Okay, my story is actually so cute, and I'm not going to say his name. But him and I were actually very good friends, I think even up and through like high school and stuff. So I think this is all kind of a cute story. We were dating. This was in 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And we were dating for quite some, like a few weeks maybe.
Okay.
And we decided basically that we were going to kiss. And we planned it over email.
Okay. Dance and Nicole 5.
Dance and Nicole 5. Be chatting up her boyfriend, and I remember walking around the kitchen because I don't remember the ins and outs. I one time had this conversation saved, but now I can't access that email anymore. Oh. And I do remember like I think it was him who suggested like maybe we should kiss tomorrow, and I had kind of been like basically if you want to, I think I want to, and I remember running circles around the kitchen waiting for him to respond because we were both online emailing each other.
Cute.
And so we were like, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and do it outside by the buses before we leave. And so, of course, we're in 7th grade. And so everybody knows we're going to do this. And so we basically are inside the school. We kind of hug and there's like crowds like circling us, waiting for us to do this. But then we decide to kind of walk out and there's just this tension in the air, right? Like everybody knows that we're supposed to do this. So then we are literally standing so far apart from each other. At least this is how I remember it. We're standing so far apart from each other in gender separated groups, staring at each other.
It's like a fight
at one another. Exactly. And then we like slowly walk up to each other and we're like, okay, bye. And then we kiss. It was just like a little peck. Like, and I remember I thought it was so cool. I thought it was so fun. I felt so brave. And I was like, that was awesome. Like, so much better than I could have imagined. And it was just so innocent and so cute. And that we planned it over email and everything like that.
I love that.
Honestly,
so cute.
I think we broke up just a couple weeks later. I think we only kissed a couple of times. And I'm pretty sure we probably planned every single one. But, it was
the magical. Planning is taking me out. I'm dying. It's so cute.
Yeah, so that was it. I actually knew that it was coming, and it was not wet and creepy. Just a little peck.
You have to admire the gumption of that boy, just shooting his shot with me, the older girl. Just, you know what? We're going in with tongue. Go big or go home, you know?
Honestly, I think that my first, if I don't, this might not have been my first, but one of my first times I ever made out with somebody, he literally kissed me and then just stuck his tongue right in there. And it was terrifying. I was
like a little pocket.
Yeah. I was like, please stop.
Gross.
And it was like so aggressive.
Poor little boys.
It's fine now. We laugh, but I was horrified at the time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yikes.
Like, this wasn't fun. And then I thought, I feel like after that had happened, I went through some time where I still didn't even make out with a boy because that was my only experience and I hated it. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, fair.
Is that the one who made me a prude? Might have been that situation.
You're like, if this is what this is, I am out.
I don't want any part of this.
No.
Well, I love it. And I'm so glad that we didn't end up kissing the same guy. I think we have far too big of an age gap for that to be, good.
Yeah. I am a wee bit concerned with my 4 boys. My older 2, they only have 20 months between them, and there's only 1 grade between them. So theoretically, we could have some, even my younger 2, they're 22 months apart. So, yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. Please, let's just not fight over girls. Okay.
Exactly.
Ugh, my mom is outside. I have to go.
Quick, before you go, what should I binge this week?
All right, we are wrapping it up. We are getting pajamas on and we are saying au revoir for the evening. But first, we need to know, what are we binging for this week until we see each other again? Nicole, what you been binging?
All right, this is a book, and it's available on Kindle Unlimited, which I feel like gives it a little bit of an edge, right? You guys can get this today if you have Kindle Unlimited. And the book is called Ask for Andrea.
Okay.
And strangely enough, this is kind of a creepy thriller murder book, which is not usually my genre.
Who is she? Okay.
But it was one of those books that I just could not put down. It's not a super long book. I kind of don't want to explain the plot because it's for my book club and it won, and I didn't even reread the plot, and there's not huge spoilers. Like, you figure it out within the first few chapters what's going on. But if you want to just go in blind and read this book, I think it adds to the edge because I was so surprised at the beginning when everything started kind of going down. Okay. But it was a quick read. It was very, I guess, captivating. Okay. And there is a little bit of murder. There's betrayal. There is a serial killer. And it's very interesting, and it's a full circle moment. And I guess it's kind of like a nationwide thing that Ask for Andrea is posted at bars and stuff, so that if somebody's on a date where they feel unsafe, they should go to the bartender and ask for Andrea, and then they'll make sure that you get home safe. So that's like kind of where the title of the book comes from. So anyway, I finished it in just a couple of days. Probably, I think the book was like 6 or 7 hours long. I was lucky because I was on vacation and had kind of a long drive, but I would 100% recommend it, and it's totally bingeable because I did it. You can too.
Okay, I'm going to download that for my drive tomorrow. That sounds like a great plan. Cool.
You'll have to let me know. I hope that you like it. But
okay, I'm sure I will.
Not my genre, so I was so proud of myself that I was able to read it and finish it.
Branching out.
Yeah.
You. Good.
All right, how about you?
So we have hit a really good point in our kids' ages where we're showing them awesome movies. And it's been so fun. Every couple weeks we'll come up with like, okay, like a couple weeks ago we watched Back to the Future and we watched the first few Star Treks. I mean, newish Star Treks and just all these random ones. So this past weekend we watched The Mummy with Colton, Jax, and Weston. It is free on like Freevee. I think that's what it's called. But first of all, amazing movie. Okay, you want to talk about sexual awakening movies? Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser is the dreamiest. Like even so before cute. We watched, so their chemistry is so good. But he is so dashing in The Mummy. He just is the best hero, and he's so strong, and he has that gun, and I haven't seen it in a long time, and she is the cutest thing in the whole world. And together, they're just so darling. But the kids loved it. I was a little afraid because Weston's only 6, but I said, listen, if you get scared, you can go upstairs and that's totally fine. I warned him a couple times, but he braved it out. He didn't have any nightmares and he loved it. But they were it was so intense. And I love when they get like, oh, don't do that, go do this, and it's just so intense. And if you haven't watched The Mummy in a while, go watch The Mummy, because honestly, the best. And it just brought me back when we were in Universal Studios in September. We only had a couple hours left at the park before we had to go to the airport, and we were kind of walking over. We rode Transformers a bunch of times. This was me, Nicole, and Colton, and we saw the Mummy ride. And we're like, and it was inside. We're like, well, maybe we should just try it. We only have a little bit of time left. Honestly, best ride in the park. so freaking fun.
Oh so my gosh.
We rode it, 3 times back to back to back? Like, it was so good.
I think it was our second day there that we did it. And but yeah, we read it like 2 or 3 times, and then I remember the last day we went back to it, and I don't even know if Colton wanted to, but me and you were like, "This is such a cool ride! Like we have to go back." What did Colton think after after
he loved it? Well, at the end of it, he was like, "Oh yeah, it reminds me of the ride and all the flames." But it's a little bit different than the movie the ride is, but just the context of it was good. But when the movie was over, I was like, well, next weekend we're going to have to watch The Mummy Returns. And Jax turned and he was like, there's a second one. He was so excited.
The best news
So
ever.
they're sold. But they were so funny. Before we started it, I said, I had such a big crush on Rick O'Connell. And so every new character that popped up on the screen, the boys were like, is that Rick O'Connell? Is that who you had a crush on? Which is so funny that they even cared. And I'm like, no, it's the main guy. Just give it a second. Just wait. And at the end, they're like, yeah, he was like the hero.
Yeah.
So, it was so fun though. So go watch The Mummy.
Does The Mummy Returns, does it have The Rock? Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Doesn't it have him?
As the Scorpion King. I forgot.
Yeah, isn't there like a crossover between those 2 movies or something?
No, so he first appears in The Mummy Returns as the Scorpion King, and then he had his own offshoot movie, The Scorpion King.
Okay,
I think that's what it was.
When I was a child, this confused me so much. I could not understand what was going on. And even the plot of those two movies, I remember vaguely, but I'm pretty sure they're 100% intertwined. Like, I don't know if I could separate those two movies in my brain.
They came out really close together. I remember that. We definitely watched The Mummy more than The Mummy Returns, but I like the second one because their kid is cute. And I think as a kid watching it, you're like, you can relate to it more because it's the kid. So anyway, I will return a report on the Scorpion King lore.
Yeah. Let us know how that goes because I definitely forgot what happens with that whole thing. So,
okay.
Anyway, an easy binges. We got a quick book. We got an awesome movie. So everybody go and watch those things. And we are so excited to hear back and see how you like them.
Well, same place next week, guys. We'll be here. And actually, when this episode airs, we will be together. And we've got some fun stuff coming down the pike for all of us. We're going to have such a good time. And we get to involve more stuff from you guys as listeners. And thank you so much for supporting and listening, commenting, sharing. And this is going great. We love you guys.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming yet again. And we will see you guys next week.
All right. Bye.